Hello everybody, I am back with another video. I know it has been quite some time, but I'm finally home from my internship. I'll be heading back to school in about 2 to 3 weeks, and I wanted to do a video basically updating you guys on my backlog progress. And since I am home, I figured I'd grab Calvin and show you guys. It's been pretty much forever since he's been on camera, so he's tired. It's early still, and he's only slept like, a lot. That's all he does is sleeps pretty much. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and update you guys on my backlog progress. I've beaten quite a number of games these past 8 months, but for a while there I really wasn't doing much gaming beyond Uncharted 3 Online, but I did eventually get back into the swing of things, and I played quite a few games, so I wanted to go ahead and share those with you. I'm only going to speak in great detail about 3 of those games, because most of which I have spoken about in my recent pickup videos, and I've also been on some podcasts where I spoke about some of these games. And that leads me to something that I really wanted to shout out really quickly, and that is the Another Gaming podcast with co-hosts Dustin Christ, Chance from Doom Waves, and then also Steven the Loggy Gamer. 3 really awesome guys, and I had the pleasure of joining them on an episode very recently. It has been also uploaded here on YouTube. So I'll be posting a link to that, as well as a link to each of their respective channels, because they are all 3 very much worth checking out. 3 really good friends of mine now. And then also, I spoke very in detail of Tales of Vesperia on the Hey Listen Gaming podcast way back when, so I'm not going to go into detail about that. But I am going to go ahead here and list each of the games, just show you quickly each of the games that I beat, and then speak in detail about those. Also, I did want to just say a tremendous shout out and thank you to Landon Hughes, someone who I had never previously known, but he watched my videos, was a big fan of my channel, which, again, Landon, I thank you for just watching my videos first and foremost, but he reached out to me, and he recently got a tablet, and he wanted to do the background design for my channel, and also my avatar and everything, and I, said, well, sure, but, is there any way I can repay you? And he really asked for nothing other than just just mentioning his name on my channel, which I am more than happy to do. I would have done that even if he hadn't asked me to, just because I needed to thank him and just recognize him for the just amazing work he did designing my background. Basically, if you go to my channel, the very front, it basically has my name. It also has a picture of some of my favorite characters: Sora, Charmander, Diddy Kong, Mario. Oh my gosh, just thank you so much, Landon. I wanted to thank you. You did an amazing job designing that, and I'm not sure if you're taking requests, but you may get a few emails your way. I'll be posting a link to his channel because he definitely deserves some recognition for his hard work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get into the swing of things here. Mentioning some handheld games first, we have Super Mario 3D Land, an excellent platformer. A game that you can't really beat, but I've sunk an absurd number of hours in, as many people here in the gaming community have. That is Animal Crossing New Leaf. I put about 30 hours into it. I think for the time being, I'm definitely going to kind of take a break from Animal Crossing. I don't know, I just kind of, the novelty wore off, I guess, as far as the excitement of going to your town and collecting bugs and all this other good stuff. Just not having as much fun with it as I was when I first got it, so gonna definitely put this down for now. A game in the Professor Layton series, The Curious Village. I actually started with The Unwound Future, surprisingly, and I had to go back and obviously play the first, and I actually recently acquired The Diabolical Box, the second game in the series, so I'll be continuing with my progress in this wonderful kind of point-and-click puzzle adventure series. We have the Sly Collection here. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I got into these games quite a bit. One of my favorite gaming series from last generation, although I guess I could almost say 2 generations ago now, since we're kind of heading into the next. I played through and platinumed Sly 1, and I got about 60 to 70% of Sly 2. Unfortunately, I haven't beat it yet. I'm hoping to go back and complete it before I head back to school here in 2 weeks. But I'm playing some other games right now, so kind of remains to be seen. But two very, very stellar platformers from the PlayStation 2 era. We have a crazy, over-the-top game that I'm just happy I finished it. It was just almost too brutal for me, literally. That is God of War 3. Crazy action, over-the-top. I hadn't played through a God of War game entirely ever, so this is the first game in the series that I had done that with, and it was pretty brutal, but you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was some good fun as well. We have a game here that really kind of overlooked, I think, and perhaps, you know, rightfully so, because it did have a lot of bugs, but that is Dead Island. I've spoken about this quite a bit already. I personally really enjoyed it, and I do plan on picking up Riptide when it hits that kind of budget $20 mark. Some really good fun there. Another game kind of similar to Dead Island as far as the open world sandbox genre is Borderlands, another really good game that I enjoyed. We have a Rockstar game here, Red Dead Redemption. Not a game that I enjoyed as much as I thought I would. An absolutely amazing story, great character development. I really love John Marston and his kind of interaction with Bonnie and you know, all the other characters that he kind of came across in the game. But it's definitely not my favorite Rockstar game. I think that title still goes to either Bully or The Warriors. Kind of too underrated, I think, overlooked gems back in the day. But it still was really, really good, and I did play a little bit of the DLC, The Undead Nightmare, and that was really great as well. I just haven't had a chance to go back and finish it. We have a game that most people deemed their game of the year last year, and rightfully so. That is The Walking Dead. You've already heard my thoughts on that. If you go back to a previous video of mine, you can hear my in-depth thoughts as well as some of the more decisions that I made throughout the game that you kind of are forced with. We have a game, again, that I spoke very highly of in the Hey Listen Gaming podcast, and that is Tales of Vesperia. Definitely one of the defining JRPGs of this generation, in my personal opinion, and one that cannot be missed on the Xbox 360. You know, JRPGs are pretty far and few between these days, especially on the Xbox 360, and this is definitely not one to be missed. We have a game that I just love kind of going back and playing, and that is Lego Harry Potter. I love the Lego games, and this one is no exception. Of course, voice acting was not incorporated in this one, and I think that was kind of, you know, almost better for that, because I just love how they just kind of like grunt and just nod, and all these silly interactions between the Lego characters. I think it's so great. And this one's no exception. I really enjoyed this one. And then we have a game that I had recently picked up earlier this year and played through for the third or fourth time, and that is Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth. I played through the Good Campaign, an excellent real-time strategy game, and I'm really just hoping that we would see a third entry into this wonderful series of games some point in the future. Whether it be PC exclusive or not, I really would like to see a third. Now we're going to get into the three games that I'm going to speak a little bit more in detail about. The first one being Resident Evil Revelations on the Nintendo 3DS. I'd missed out on this game when it first came out, and I was fortunate enough to pick it up not too long ago and play through it in its entirety. Really enjoyed it. I thought it really well incorporated a mix of both kind of the newer Resident Evil with the old, classic, you know, survival horror roots that this series, you know, kind of established way back when, that everyone loved, but that people feel has completely been lost and riddled away in kind of the newer Resident Evils. I didn't feel that, you know, you were shooting too often. I didn't feel like it was too over the top, you know, with all these quick time events that Resident Evil 4 and 5 were flooded with. It was a really interesting story that was well paced, it was challenging, and I thought it made great use of just multiple characters and stories all intertwined into this, you know, just really, really great, well-crafted story. And of course, you can play this now on the Xbox 360, Wii U, and PS3. You can get a hard copy of it now that it's been upgraded and, you know, HDified and all that good stuff. But I thought it played very well on the 3DS, and I didn't even use the Circle Pad Pro. So I think it's an excellent series, or excellent addition into the series, and well worth playing through. And then I was fortunate enough to pick up the Kirby collection at Best Buy for $7.99, which is insane, because if you put that in perspective, you can't even pick up Kirby 64 Crystal Shards on the Wii Virtual Console for that price, because it's like 1,000 points, which is the equivalent of like $10. So that was more than worth the asking price of $7.99. I played through recently Kirby 64 crystal shards, which still remains my favorite Kirby game. I just love how you can just, the experimentation with the dual abilities. You can suck up 2 enemies at once and kind of just combine the 2 abilities. My favorite still remains lightning and the needle ability, because then Kirby has like this lightning, almost like Darth Maul like lightsaber, and just dual wields it and just wrecks all havoc, and it's awesome. But that's such an excellent game, and not only that, but also the mini games that you can play with up to 4 people are really a lot of fun, and really reminds me of the Pokemon Stadium mini games that you can play with your buddies, 1 to 4 players on the N64 as well. So really excellent collection here. I also played through Kirby Dream Land 2, which was my first kind of exposure to that game on the original Game Boy. I played the first one, but Kirby's Dream Land 2 is far superior to the first, definitely. I really liked how you could not only suck up and absorb abilities of your enemies, but you could also ride on like these 3 little animals, similar to how Mario makes use of Yoshi in the Super Mario World game on the Super Nintendo. My favorite, you could use a hamster, an owl, and this piranha-like fish that I felt was like worthless and completely unnecessary. But the owl especially was really sweet. It's completely overpowered. You can kind of just like race through the level if you have an ability equipped in addition to riding this owl and just pretty much obliterate all the enemies in your way. So really good fun here, a well-polished collection, far superior to the Super Mario All-Stars collection in my opinion. And the soundtrack especially has some excellent tunes on there. You cannot go wrong with the Kirby music, especially the Greenlands level from Epic Yarn. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. The final game I'm going to speak about here is a game that I missed out on last year, and a game that I think is what Grand Theft Auto 4 should have been. That is Sleeping Dogs. I got this for $20, an excellent asking price for a game that just came out last year. And like I said, this does everything that I wish Grand Theft Auto 4 would have done. I felt the driving and controls were so sloppy in Grand Theft Auto 4, and they are so refined in this game. They could seriously build an entire racing game off of the driving engine, no pun intended, in this game. It is so well done. And also just the fighting and battle mechanics in this game basically mirrors the Batman Arkham games, but in the best way possible. And I think it just adds so much to the open world sandbox genre. It does everything right, an excellent story, it's well paced, it's not 30 hours like Grand Theft Auto 4 was. You can beat this in about 15. I thought it was the perfect length, great story, and superb controls, like I said. So if you're looking for a sandbox open world game similar to Far Cry 3 or Grand Theft Auto, and you don't feel like waiting for Grand Theft Auto 5 or paying $60 for Grand Theft Auto 5 here in a few months, definitely give Sleeping Dogs a look. DLC is also available, so I might actually download the DLC because I enjoyed the game so much. And there's tons of collectibles and stuff like that to go back to once you complete the game. So I really enjoyed Sleeping Dogs, so definitely give it a look. So that's everything, guys. I wanted to update you guys about my backlog progress. I also have a few other videos in the works, so, no promises. I just, have a few ideas up my sleeve that I want to go ahead and put out there for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. I really do. And I do want to thank you guys for the continued support. I've been getting just an absurd number of recent flood of subscribers. I think I've gotten, close to 200 in the past few months, which is just insane since I really haven't put out any videos. So I want to thank you guys for that. I again want to thank all of the co-hosts of the Another Gaming podcast. I had a great time with you guys. Again, the link will be posted to that at the bottom of this video. And Landon, again, thank you, good sir, for doing the layout for my channel. It looks fantastic. You did an excellent job, so kudos to you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I truly, truly do appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys have been playing. How have you been doing with the summer backlog if you're participating? What have you picked up recently? What are you looking forward to in the next coming months? I know August is quite a busy month for game releases, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.